The Bottom Line, weekdays on LDB TV. Presented by LDB Media Corp.
Yes. Welcome back to that bottom line. Tuesday, January 19th, 2021. How you doing? My name is LJ, and we are getting started. But first, I will speak out to my sponsors. Be going to continue to move forward. We got a distinguished guest coming. Soon he will be coming in, chiming in. This is how we do our show. Oh, here we go. All right. When he chime in, we're going to do what we got to do. And we're going to keep going. But first, the bottom line powered by LTB Media Corps and get started. How you doing, sir? How you doing?
All right.
All right. Do you got video or do you want to keep like
No,
this?
apparently I can't get on there unless I download Chrome, and we don't have time for
that. Man, can you see me? Can you see me?
Let me see. No.
I'll tell you what, we'll just go by ear. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Cris Pasqueralle, and I am the author of a fantasy series entitled The Destiny Trilogy. Book 1, Destiny Revealed. Book 2, Path of Destiny. Book 3 is Quest for Destiny.
All right. And sir, can you explain the inspiration behind your creation of your book titles in your series, please?
Well, my daughters were big fans of the Harry Potter series, and when that ended, things kind of moved into the vampire realm, and they weren't so much into that. And my older daughter suggested, Dad, why don't you write a series like Harry Potter for wizards?
Right.
I came up with the idea of writing a story about twins, so I have twin wizards. But I changed some things. A lot of the stories for kids, they kill off mom and dad. The kids are orphans. I didn't do that. I have a family intact. I have a brother and sister who rely on each other. I have a mom and dad who they look up to, who are role models, which I think is important. I think kids need to realize that, yes, you can grow and be your own person, but you can also have your parents to support you and guide you and give you advice.
Roger, I like that. That's a good statement. Why did you call it Destiny Revealed?
Well, the children in the book have a great destiny. So book 1, we learn what that destiny is. Book 2, we learn how to get to that destiny. And book 3, we're on a quest to fulfill that destiny.
Okay, that's great. I like that. So book 1, let's see, book 1, Destiny Revealed, Wizards Twins.
Yes,
right?
Jack and Maddie Austin are twin brother and sister. They just turned 13.
Okay.
And they have a birthday party. They're about to find out that they are wizards with a great destiny. They're given a gift. Maddie gets a magical earth. It's a medallion of the earth, and her brother gets a medallion of the sun. And before they can find out what is the story behind the gifts and who they really are, the evil wizard Tardon shows up at their house and kidnaps their parents.
Oh, kidnap the parents. Okay.
Yeah,
so
go
ahead.
And Uncle Benny is that kind of their overseer. He takes them away to the magical realm to protect them from Tardon. And then once in the magical realm, they start to use their powers, learn how to use their powers, and they go on a rescue mission to save mom and dad.
Wow. That's great imagination. The characters' names, did you come up with that, or did you have to put draw it out or come up with a plan for all the characters' names?
No, I just kind of came up with it. They just pop in my head when I write sometimes. Characters take on a life of their own. They tell you who they are.
Right. It sounds amazing. Let's see. Let's go to say book 2, right? Path of Destiny, right?
Path of Destiny, yes.
Okay, let's click on that. All right. So explain a little bit about that book.
Jack and Maddie are separated in book 2. Maddie goes to live with her aunt, and Jack returns to the non-magical realm where he befriends a magician who he suspects is not just a regular magician, and turns out he's right. He's a wizard. And that's why he has such a great magical show in the non-magical realm. And they return to the magical realm to continue on with finding out who they are.
Oh, so it's still a self-discovery journey for these two protagonists.
And they find out that people they thought were who they are aren't necessarily who they are. And they also discover that, yes, we have a destiny, but your path may not be the same as mine, but we'll meet at the end.
Okay. They sound like they're real tight. Explain the connection between the two characters.
Well, Jack and Maddie are twins. They're brother and sister. Jack is very much acting on impulse, on emotion. He just jumps head in. Maddie is very much, let me take a look at the situation and analyze it and see where to attack it from. So
Right.
together, they're each what the other is not. Where Jack is
Oh,
not analytical, Maddie is, and where Jack is emotional, Maddie's not, and they're very much complete each other together.
okay, okay. So they pretty much know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Oh yeah,
So one could see for the other, and the other one could hear for the other. That's basically what
yes,
you're saying.
pretty much.
Okay, okay. So they let's see the antagonist. What's his name again?
Tardon.
Tardon. Tardon. Where did the creation from that come from?
Um, Tardon is just the personification of evil. I don't know where the name came from. It kind of just popped in my head.
Okay.
But Tardon believes that the magical realm should rule all the realms of existence, and he doesn't realize that there are boundaries, natural boundaries established for a reason, and he's messing with those natural boundaries and can destroy the world by mixing the realms.
Oh, okay. So they pretty much threatened the order of, I guess, of the fancy world that you're creating this in.
Yes.
The balance is being threatened pretty
Well,
much
it's the
with him.
balance of all the realms. There's a magical realm, a non-magical realm that we live in, the world of dreams, the world of ideas. And sometimes they cross to influence each other, but that's a natural thing. He wants to cross them to have the magic influence everything.
Oh, okay, okay. So basically, he wants to just rule the world, huh? Just take the universe and just with an iron fist, just keep moving and watching, huh?
Pretty much.
Man, well, he sounds like a MCU villain. so, so we're gonna move on to the next book, The Quest of Destiny. Expound on that a little bit.
Quest for Destiny is the twins are back together. Mom and dad are together. They're all together and they're on the path to meet with Tardon and end this thing once and for all, one way or another. What they discover along the way is Tardon has little secrets of his own. And, where we've established that wizarding twins are very rare, but maybe not so rare that they also might be evil. So you may have twins meeting twins and getting together at the end.
so basically what I guess with how you explain the books is pretty much all three books they still interconnected, but at the same time the characters, the protagonist, the character progression, and the lessons learned. They have to go through a lesson, pretty much training.
Absolutely.
But it's not the Jedi, just a little tad. Luke and what I'm saying, Yoda. so okay, so pretty much putting the books together is like a significance of the past of each actually the protagonist and the antagonist. But I know there's more characters than just those three. Can you explain talk about any more characters in the book?
Well, they find out that mom and dad, Ray and Tina, are the big influence in their lives. And then there's Uncle Benny, who kind of oversees them. He kind of drifts in the magical realm and the non-magical, so he can oversee them. But then there's the big man, Stanton. Stanton is in charge of the good side of the magical realm. He has Stanton's guard, which is those are the ones fighting for the good.
Okay.
And he's the guiding force behind the destiny of Jack and Maddie. He lays it out for them, what they're all about and why they need to do these things. And for lack of a better term, I won't like to compare to other books, but he's like the Dumbledore of
I had a feeling.
I don't like to say that, I don't want to steal from the Queen, but
yeah, I mean, you tell he's a big influence from the Harry Potter series. I mean, like I said, everybody gets inspiration from all kinds of creation.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's how to put together and how to make it a significant property for people to enjoy, to open up and just be, I say, imagine the world and the creativity and imagination.
See, what I've done is to change it a little bit. You always have your dragons in your fairy tale stories. You have to have that. But my magical creatures, other than the dragons, of course, come from Native American folklore.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'll use some creatures from there. Thunderbirds are in there, and Sasquatch is in there. And, I also have a coming together of all of the animals of the forest to help Jack and Maddie fight.
Okay. So before we expound any further with the Destiny Revealed, explain more about yourself, more about your occupation, more about your history, your background, your bio, pretty much.
I grew up on Long Island.
Okay.
I'm a retired New York City police officer.
Oh, okay.
That was fun.
Well, well, before you go any further, hey, thank you for serving, and I
You're
hope
very welcome.
you got some friends are safe out there right now as we speak.
It was the great pleasure of my life.
Roger that. Roger that.
So once I retired from NYPD, I waited a couple nights a week. A restaurant I know the owner for years. He asked me to come back for a couple of days, so I do that a couple of days a week. I have two grown daughters, so just about grown, 25 and 21.
They're grown then. They're grown.
My other one, well, pretty much, yeah. My older one is in law school, and
Oh,
my
great.
little one is graduating from college this spring.
Congratulations. That's awesome
Thank
to
you.
hear. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I mean, some great careers about to be brewing right there.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah. They got it together. They get the head on right. They get it. They
So
understand.
so so do a quick question there. Do they enjoy your books? Do they look at the characters and like, hold up, Daddy, did you pretty much inspire your characters pretty much around us, or you or
Well,
what? What
yes,
how they
my
take it?
younger daughter. Yes, there is a character named Connie in the books who's
Uh,
kind of a couple of years older than the twins, and that's my younger daughter. She pretty much is there. My older daughter, actually, before she went back to law school, she was an English major at Fordham.
right.
She was my editor.
Oh, okay.
She is. Oh, she loves books. She loves the classics, and she is my editor. She rips it apart and tears it down. And says, "Dad, you can't do this. You can't do this. This works. This doesn't work." It's great to have, right here. Plus, the price is right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's family. Keep the family involved.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially with the not to cut you off, but especially with the expertise they operate in. They can help out in any type of way to keep it going. And plus, they seeing a dream, a vision that Dad had. And when you move on that dream and that passion that you have, everybody gonna get involved. You're gonna keep drawing, so your gift makes room for you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I tell my daughter she's a better writer than I'll ever be, and one day she'll write her own books. I'm sure of it. But right now she has her own aspirations, and you know what? We all got to follow our own path of destiny, so to speak.
I agree with that. We do. We all have a certain purpose and path. And so back to the Destiny Revealed. First of all, forgive me. I kind of rushed that. Forgive me. I'm not going to rush that. Anything else that you want to lay out about? Because I hear about your daughters, but what about your wife? What about
My wife is. We've been married for 30 years.
Wow! Congratulations again.
Thank you. And with her working from home with this whole crazy world we live in now, things are actually great. We don't be at each other. We're not. We joke around. We have a good time.
For little kids.
Yeah. So, you think, oh wow, trapped in the house with somebody. No, it works out great. It's nice.
What's up, Chris? I mean, yeah. I mean, when you got that special someone, you got that help me. I call it, because my profession, I'm a believer, right? So I always, look at my wife. She's a great helpmate, and I think the father that she continues to push me to be the best person I need to be. And it sounds like your wife does the same thing to you.
Oh, yeah. I believe when we look for a mate in life, we complete ourselves. We find the things that we're not.
Roger. Find out real. We find completeness.
Yeah, if I'm not strong in one area, she is.
Exactly.
And that's just the way we are. Like she worries a little more than I do. I'm kind of more free going. But we play off each other that way. It's like I tell her, you just relax. It'll work out. And we get there.
It's a balance.
Years, so.
Yeah, 30 years. It's a balance. Hey, I got you, boo. And I guarantee she's like, I got you.
Yep.
So that's amazing. That's amazing. Besides writing books, what else what other hobbies do you have? What else do you like to showcase?
I love watching game shows. I love to read. I love trivia.
Trivia, man.
Oh yeah, I love the game shows. My daughter keeps saying, "Dad, why don't you go on Jeopardy? You answer all the questions." I'm like, "Yeah, at home it's always it's always your turn at home."
Yeah, it's always your turn. You're gonna try your best to get it, and you get it wrong. Oh, I thought I knew that one. My bad.
Yeah,
I thought I knew
exactly.
that one. That's amazing. See, I think with the game shows, as you said, Jeopardy. Since Alex Trebek, since he transitioned, and it's kind of weird because you grew up with him and he's been that host for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now to see someone else take over, and it's pretty much it's like It's like it's not the same. That
It's
makes me
not the
feel.
same, but I think he's doing okay
Right, right.
so far from what I've seen. I think the mistake somebody could make when you step into that role is don't try to be the guy before you, because you
True.
can't. You can't.
You
You know,
can.
he built that whole thing for 35 years. You can't be him. Don't
35 years. That's a long time, man.
don't try to be him. And
Yeah.
I don't think the guy they got now is trying that to do that. But we'll see. They're supposed to have some other guest hosts in a few weeks. I don't know who else they're gonna get, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, I haven't watched Jeopardy. Besides, I haven't watched Jeopardy in Ions because I tend to not watch a lot of television. Only when it's like spirit led. To the point that we and my wife get a lot of revelations. And like the Family Feud is fun.
Yeah,
Steve Harvey's doing his thing.
Yeah, well, he found what he was meant to do. I think.
Yes, to make people.
That perfectly.
He does. He expressed himself and he expressed the people around him, man. And they come out and they laugh hard. And I've seen some clips of some of the episodes. That some of the things they said was inappropriate, right? So I'm like, okay, and he just catch me like, what did he just say? And he always like forth telling like Deadpool, look at the camera like, what he did just say what I thought he said. He makes it interesting. He makes it fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we gonna move right along. We've got book 1, 2, and 3. You explained there, but is there any other characters you want to put out there that you think the audience, those that were interested in buying your book, or your books and your series, that will relate to? Make sure that not make sure, but get with the character, read about the character, and say, you know what, this is nice. I like this guy. I like this girl. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Well, Jack and Maddie will appeal to the teens. That they have their own likes and dislikes like everybody else. They have their own little problems. They have their own clashes like siblings always do.
Yeah. Yeah, especially twins.
Nothing you can do about it's gonna happen.
No, it's not. And when you get the understanding of that, it makes you a better person, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. See, I always say it's okay to disagree with people, but you don't have to be disagreeable when you're doing it.
Right. I mean,
I can respect your opinion. You can respect mine. Just because it's not the same doesn't mean we don't have to get along.
come on, you preaching to the choir. I like that.
I don't hate you for liking chocolate ice cream. I happen to like strawberry. What can I tell you?
I can't. Chocolate ice cream. I can't stand chocolate ice cream. So we disagree on that.
But you know what I mean? I can't. I'm not gonna fault you for getting this when I got B and you got A. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, gotcha.
It's all good.
It's all good. You know what? I did. I looked on your Amazon page where all the books are showcased and everything, and the prices and everything. And something caught my mind, my eyesight. And CC Mullens.
CC Mullens. Oh, CC Mullens is another series I started. The first book. CC Mullens is a 12-year-old psychic who helps his uncle solve crimes. His uncle's a police detective.
Oh, okay. That sounds interesting. One of my favorite shows, I used to watch. They used to come on Psych. You ever heard of that show, Psych?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen it a million times. It's one of my wife's favorites.
Yeah, that I like that show. Is original. I like the way he created that show and how he put the characters in the character progression, even through the 2 movies they got out as well. And I'm a big supporter of that show. I like the show. It's one of my favorite shows that used to come on. And I kind of catch the reruns here and there.
Yeah.
John and Gus, but the psychic. So the case of the orange hair ribbon, what was it about?
Well, CC's on his way home from school. He cuts through a vacant lot and he finds an orange hair ribbon. And when he picks it up, he gets a vision of a girl getting kidnapped.
Mm.
And through the encouragement of a ghost, his dad is deceased, but he visits him as a ghost, and he tells CC to believe in his visions and trust him, and he goes to see his Uncle Mike, who's a detective, and they work out the case to find the girl.
Excuse me, let me get my throat. Drink some water here. Give me 1 second. Give me some water. There you go. Hold up, we got a comment, I think. All right. So how I had a question. I don't know why. Drinking that water can be kind of forgot what I'm about to ask. Okay, yes. How many chapters does this book have?
I believe the chapters in CC Mullens is 20, just 20? Over 20, 25.
Over 20. How
Yeah,
many
they're
pages?
quick chapters. I write 2-3 page chapters. You know, they're quick chapters. It's a book for like 9 and up.
9. Okay, that's great. The age groups. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's the first one of the series. I'm working on some others there.
So which one is CC Mullens? Is this is one of your creations that you looked at and say, I'm gonna make this and make it?
Yeah, I like the Encyclopedia Brown stories.
Ah, okay.
You know, and I'm like, well, what if that kid was a psychic? You know, and then I started thinking, well, what if you know, we bring a ghost into it, and it kind of grew on its own there.
Man. Did you watch horror movies too?
Not so much.
You're right. It's a lot of connection.
My daughter loves horror movies. My little one, her and my niece sit and watch these things. I'm like, how do you watch that and then go to sleep?
I'm asking the same question. Oh my God. Amen. So with CC Mullens, because I'm reading the bio, man. I'm reading the treatment on the book, right? And you know the case of the orange hair ribbon. How is it important? I mean, you don't want to spoil the book for the people that potentially want to pick up the book. You know, I understand that. But
well, the orange hair ribbon comes in because one of CC, the way his psychic powers get triggered are by objects that belong to people.
Okay.
So the hair ribbon he finds, it belonged to the girl who got kidnapped. So he gets visions of her. And
Got it.
visions of where she may be, who may have taken her, and he doesn't get the full picture, but enough to get on the right path to find where she is.
Wow, that's pretty creative. I like that. That's pretty good. That sounds like should be a movie. Hint. Anybody watching out there? Movie.
We're working on making the Destiny Trilogy into a movie first.
Oh, Roger that. That's what you want to do first?
That's what we're working on. We're talking to people about it, so hopefully we'll get there.
Okay. We'll get there. Would you like to expound on that, or just keep that in wraps for right now?
A friend of mine who's in the film industry.
Uh-huh.
He took a chapter of the book, and we did film a 5-minute teaser reel.
Oh.
Which is up on YouTube.
Okay, I gotta check it out.
And we can, you know, we've been shopping it around from there. You know, we've talked to a few different people, and we have some interest, but until somebody writes a check, I don't know what's going to happen.
And that's what matters, the check. But I do have a question. Like you say that say someone pick it up. All right, someone picks it up. Mm-hmm. And are you more concerned about the money, the revenue, the value of the story, or the royalties of the story? If they say someone pick up the rights to your book and make a motion picture,
I have to have some creative input in it. I'm not letting, these are my children, I'm not letting them run rampant. I'm not letting somebody do something to them that I wouldn't do.
Okay. That's a wise answer. I was gonna make sure see what you're gonna say. Like, no, it's the check, baby. It's the check.
No.
Well, I appreciate the honest answer. So, because you know, that's as a producer, behind the scenes person, as I am, I feel the same way. If you create something, you know, like the Bible says that He give you ideas to gain wealth, right? Yeah. So that's how my principle is in that where He say He'll make room for your gifts. So when He give you ideas to gain wealth, you know, when, where, how, you know, that's what dreams comes in, because we talk about dreams a lot in this segment. So that's where the creation that comes from within. And how He does that, yeah, I feel the same way. You know, I got this from, you know, a higher source from my Father. He gave me this vision, gave me this idea, and I will do the exact same thing. Hey, I pick up the rights, but I need to be consulting and
we're not going to corrupt it and make it something it doesn't have to be.
Exactly. I don't want. You're right about that, because you know George Lucas himself. You know, when he sold Lucasfilms to Disney, right? When he sold Lucasfilm to Disney, he didn't realize what he was getting into. And what he did, $4 billion was how much the value of the property was at the time, and more incentives with stocks and bonds and all that. So when Disney, and I'm gonna lie, I like Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I'm a supporter of it. I'm like to say fan, because fan means you follow it. That makes sense. I'm more like, I mean, I'm a fan of it, but I'm a supporter. I say supporter because, you know, I ain't gonna say, hey, I'm just give my money anything Star Wars. You know, there'll be wisdom with it because they good. Yeah. But Disney, I mean, I know as fellow author as yourself, Disney dropped the ball with Star Wars. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think they're kind of flooding the market. You know, they see something, they know they can put out garbage, and people are still going to go see it.
Right.
And I think it's become a production line. You know, it's like, wait a minute, you're not being true to the story. You just want to churn it out. You know, just churn it out. Give me a substance to it. Give me a story here.
Give me something. Give me
Yeah,
something.
it's something that you can believe. You know, people believed in the story. You
Yeah,
know,
they
that's why they
do.
went back for more.
The characters brought it out, and that's where, similar to your book, that's where how with Star Wars, let's say the Force Awakens, right? Let's talk about the trilogy, okay? The new trilogy that came out these past years ago. All right, the Force Awakens, nostalgia, right? It's okay, cool, thank you. All right, then you got the Last Jedi, which was hot garbage. I don't care. Those are watching heart garbage. So then you got the rise of the Star Wars, Skywalker. Oh my God! I'm like, man, go ahead and end this thing. This thing is over. But now I'm gonna let you chime in just a little bit. The Mandalorian.
I
What did
have
you
not
think?
seen it. I have heard good
Oh
things. I have heard
man,
that people who are hardcore from the beginning kind of like it.
yes.
So it has to get a peek at from me at some point.
You're missing a treat. That's what I say when you
But
get
that's
when
what I'm
you.
thinking. Are they getting back now? Did somebody rein it in and say, "Wait a minute, you've gotten off base here. Let's rein this in back"? I'm hoping that's what happened.
Well, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I want you to check it out when you check it out. There's 2 seasons. You got to watch season 1 first. So, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. So when you finally do watch it, I want you next time we have our interview, right? When we connect, I want you to tell me about how you felt about
All
it,
right, all
because
right.
the creativity of the show is pretty much single handedly saved Star Wars in Disneyland, Disney World, where Disney Universe, whatever you want to call Disney
Well,
in charge of.
somebody got their head right.
Yes, John Favreau and Dave. I don't want to butcher his name, but he's the creator of Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars, the CG ones, the cartoons, and they're joined forces, man, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. So, like I said, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but just like I'm reading about your book, it's similar. The twins, the original canon stories of Star Wars, right?
Yes.
They should have did that with the twins, Anakin and I think she named the female character Han Solo and Layla after the mom, and they should have kept that canon of the books. But I don't know what Disney was thinking. I don't know. I don't know.
They were thinking dollar signs is what they were thinking.
Well, well,
Yeah, we
obviously,
know
but I'm
that.
talking about, I'm talking about creativity wise, and because you see it, you kind of like, oh my God. But this ain't about Disney though. This is about you. This is about you though.
That's
About you
right.
getting a creative mind to see how you thought about it. But you haven't seen the show, so you got to see the
No,
show.
no, no. I
Moving
haven't.
right along, man. Moving right along. Also, there's another book that you have. It's called I Am
I
John
am
Paul.
John Paul. Oh, that's my baby.
Epic Teen Survival Adventure. Explain that. Talk to
John
about.
Paul is a 14-year-old Maasai warrior in training. He
Okay.
lived in Kenya, Africa. He is part of the Maasai tribe. He is going through the initiation to become a Maasai warrior.
Okay.
Now, what upsets some people is that they don't do it anymore, but I used part of this culture because I thought it would be good for a story, is they used to have a lion hunt. And that did upset some people. When I got the book out, I got a review saying, oh, you can't be killing lions. But I went about it differently. He goes out on a lion hunt with just a spear and a shield. That's what they used to do, and that's what he
Uh-huh.
does. But this is a lion that's been coming into the village and killing the cattle, and they kind of got to do something. It's an older lion. Not to give away too much, he doesn't really kill the lion.
You have to say all that, man.
But no, the lion has to end up dead, but he doesn't actually. But he is accompanied on his hunt by a visiting American priest.
Right, right. Okay.
His mother is a Christian. John
Oh,
Paul is
okay.
caught between staying to Maasai tradition or taking on the Christian beliefs that he has read about. He's highly intelligent. He's read through the Bible several times. He believes it, but he also sees similarities between the Maasai faith and the Christian faith. And I
Right.
kind of try to show people that when you think your world's apart from a culture, the way to get together is to find where you're not so different, because
Okay.
we're all not so different. And I think people get away from that too much. We're all not as different as you want to believe. We have similar beliefs. Just because you might call God something other than we call him, but when you start talking about it, we're talking about the same thing here. And that's where we get to.
Okay. Okay. I am John Paul, Epic Teen Survival Adventure. Okay. So I mean, do you said with the complaints about this, about the lion hunt, and then with the okay, most people call religion or faith based. What's the word I'm trying to face? I'm looking for a faith based type topics in the book, right?
Yes.
So have you got any backlash or anything like that?
No, because I think I've, okay, I'm going to sound like I'm patting myself on the back, but I think I've done a good job keeping it tethered to the real world, not getting too spiritual with it, but showing how it does influence your life and how beliefs of seemingly one thing are kind of similar to what we all kind of believe. I try to show the similarities in different cultures so that we can get together.
Right.
And show people aren't that much different. Just because they live in one part of the world and you live in another doesn't mean we're that much different.
Okay. When you wrote this book, did it conflict your beliefs, or what did you
No,
believe
I
in?
think I've kind of instilled my beliefs in it. What I did find as I was doing research was that Maasai religion does have a lot in common with Christianity, and it makes me wonder about, they talk about the lost years of Jesus. Well, maybe he was visiting these people. you know,
That's
they
funny.
have
I
a
like
lot of
that.
things that we believe too. Maybe that's where we went. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Talking about the apocalyptic books.
Well, no, you gotta. Well, I've read some of those, but they always talk about, you see Jesus when he's 12 years old in the temple, and then you don't see him again until he's 30 years old. Well, what do you do in the middle? I don't know. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
speculation, human speculation. Yeah,
how
we
old do
don't
I
know.
know?
But we just know he prepared for his sacrifice on the cross
Absolutely,
and
absolutely,
salvation.
absolutely.
Well, this book seems real inspirational, and he says epic teen survival adventure. So, what's the survival about? The wilderness that he asked
Well,
them.
from where he lives, the Masai Mara in Kenya is not exactly like living in a high-rise apartment building with a gated community. Elephants are coming through your backyard. That's not so safe.
Well, it's not. It's not. You got Dumbo and
Yeah, I mean, you go
Bigger
to sleep.
Con back there.
You go to sleep at night, and hyenas start coming through your garden.
So you got no choice to be warriors.
That's it.
Man, that is a picture to look for, and like a vision. Like, man, wake up, you just yawn and stretch, and you look up to giraffes just eating trees in front of you.
Yeah.
You're right. That's a picture.
Yeah.
So at the end, not at the end, that's kind of forward thinking. His journey, his since he's going back and forth, or not going back and forth. I didn't say that. He's decided.
Yes.
So I don't know if you're gonna spill the beans on which one he's
Well,
eventually choose.
when a Maasai boy becomes a warrior, he chooses his name,
Right.
and I am John Paul.
Okay. Okay, that speaks for itself. I know what he chose. God be the glory. Well, I'm pretty so far I am impressed with the intellect and the creative direction of the books.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And each way each I'm in my throat. Each each thing that we do when we create things, we tend to put the people mindset in their shoes in first, right? So then when we start to write it, start to put it together, we make sure that sometimes it doesn't go according to plan as we do it, but we write it to a point where they can understand where we're coming from creatively.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yes, but I always say characters are like kids. They're not going to do what you tell them to do.
That's true, because it's the world that you created, and I like that. Put in the perspective like that. The characters are your children. This is your baby. It's like it's a part of you. It's
Yeah,
family.
absolutely, and they do. It's strange. Like, people who don't write can't understand when I say it. They take on a life of their own. You start putting them in a situation that they don't want to be in, they're going to tell you loud and clear, no, that's not what I would do.
Right.
And it happens. And I've ripped up 60 pages and started over.
Ooh, man.
There's things you got to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Or I fight with the characters and try to force them to do what I want. And then I get to the end of it and I read it and I look at it and I go, you know what? Yeah, you were right.
Restart, reset. I mean, I appreciate, admire that because you want. I'm not gonna say perfection, but you want to be close to what your vision showed you.
Yes. Yes.
And that's a key thing to do anything when you create anything. See, you inspire me more and more. 'Cause I think this is purpose that me and you are talking because 8 years ago I started my book and I have not finished it yet. So the same thing is happening. I have a great mentor. He always said, "Pray, read, and then worship." And then allowed to be led to go back into and let the Holy Spirit help me write the book, right? So when we're talking about John Paul and that's kind of like give me like more of an insight of, okay, I see how you wrote that and how you did that, because you had to do a lot of research. And 8 years later, I'm writing on it here and there, but it's a spirit-led thing, and it's and some of the stuff we gotta understand, majority of what we do is spiritual. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely. And I don't judge a journey by how long it takes.
Right.
I judge it by the destination.
Ha! I like that. It's not a race. It's a marathon.
No, it's not a race, and we all take it differently, and we all move along it differently, and we all get obstacles placed in our path on purpose, because you don't learn to pick yourself up unless you fall down a few times.
That's true. You got to fall. You got to taste the blood.
People ask me, there's so much suffering in the world. Well, how are you ever going to know happiness if you don't suffer a little bit?
Come on.
You can't recognize the good if you don't have the bad to compare it to.
That's true. I agree with that too.
You can't grow unless you've experienced some turmoil in your life. You don't grow through. You grow through adversity. You don't grow through good things happening to you all the time. You don't learn from that.
That's true. A trial you got to grow through, not go through.
That's it. Exactly.
Right. Like some even back to the books. I like right now, if you had your video on, you'll see what I did and everything. So just to introduce you, to welcome you to the bottom line. And, I got your background of your Destiny reveal, the one, I think is book, which one is it? It's book 1, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But next time, I mean, God's willing, we get the chance, we get to see all of this. And
I'll figure something out here.
But it's all right. I mean, it's worthwhile because I'm learning a lot and I'm understanding, how long did it take you to even begin to write these books and series?
Oh, I was talking about it for probably at least a year, just talking about it.
Okay, talking about it. Okay.
The first book took the longest because I knew where I was going from there. I planned out a trilogy, and the first book is the hardest because how much am I giving away? I got another book to write. I got 2 more books to write. How much can I give away here? What can I do here? And that took the planning. After that, it kind of fell in line.
Okay.
It depends on the story. Some take a while. Some write themselves very quickly. I Am John Paul wrote pretty quickly.
Well, pretty quickly because you got so used to it. Once
I got the research done, it went. The story went. That was divinely inspired.
That's what I like. I like to hear that. Because you pretty much gave me some advice about mine. So like I say, I appreciate that.
Well, I can help.
I mean, you're helping because the creative juices, regardless, I can't see your face, but I can feel it radiating through the segment.
Well, that's good. I'm gonna get this video fixed, man. We'll do this again.
Roger, we're gonna do it again. Definitely gonna do it again. With the second book now, every beginning of every trilogy, you said the first one was the hardest, but now the sequel, just like a movie, just like any studio based thing. How hard was that to write down?
The second one became Passive Destiny. It was never meant to be Passive Destiny. It was.
Wow.
I never wanted to separate them, the twins, but I did separate them in the book because when I get to the first one, they kind of wrote it, like I said, characters take on life of their own and they do what they want to do. Jack's not into all this magic stuff. He doesn't. He's like, he can say, I don't want to be a freak. Where Maddie kind of is like, I love this. So they kind of go off on different directions, and that's how the second book was born. That they have a different view of this whole thing.
Okay, that's I like that too. That's very unique and in creativity and going forward. And crafting and putting together a story, because you separate them and they have to find themselves in the midst of the separation. The
Absolutely.
wilderness. It's not the wilderness to me.
It's like, they're very much together, but they're two different people too at the same time.
Right.
Right. Different ideas about how to achieve the same goal, which is fine. That's okay. That's okay. Just because I rely on the fastball to strike somebody out doesn't mean you can't throw a curve to get the same job done.
Yes, that sounds like a true. Which baseball team is your favorite?
I am a Yankee fan.
I can hear it.
But I am also a baseball fan.
Got it. Okay.
I will watch any game, anytime, anywhere. I love it. I watch spring training games. I watch college games. I watch high school baseball. I love baseball.
You love it.
I just love it.
I used to love it. I was a White Sox fan in 2005. Well, yes and no. They won in 2005, and that was the last time I watched baseball. Yes, true story. True story.
Well,
so, go ahead.
No, they're good again. Your team's good again.
They good again, but I can't watch it because bad taste in the mouth with the steroid era. That's another topic.
Yeah, I know, but they're kind of going back a little bit. They got an old school manager now.
Like, who's the manager?
They brought Tony La Russa back.
Stop.
Yeah,
really?
I mean, you got an old school guy now with these young kids. Maybe things will work out.
So you tell me he's bringing back the juice, huh? They bringing back that hard knock baseball.
They're bringing back the old school guy who's not going to stand for the flipping the bat and jogging to first base when you hit a ground ball. You're going to be out. Run, boy, run. You get paid, run.
Well, I used to watch. I used to sit there and watch it for 2 hours straight, man. I used to sit there and watch it, and it wasn't boring to me. But like I said, 2005 stereo era that took me away. And but back to the books. It's not about peace.
Wait. Let me comment one more time here.
Go ahead.
People say that to me too. They said to me when they went on strike and there was no World Series.
Right.
Well, how do you go back to the game? Because I love the game. How do I go visit my kid in prison? I love him.
Because you love it, but I love football. I'm just wrong now. To compare, I love football, but there's some things about the football that has got my twisted my perspective of it too. You get what I'm saying? It's not the same. It is not the same game.
No, it's not.
Definitely not the same game. And when I grew up, I'm an 80s baby. So when I grew up in the 80s, and I've seen the Chicago Bears, my first football game ever, I believe, as I can remember to my recollection, is the 1985 Bears, when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And when Walter Payton, Refrigerator Perry, and all these guys.
Yep. That's
football. 49ers, Joe Montana, and them, football. Testaverde and the Jets. He was in the Patriots before, but when these guys like that, that's football. I miss that. Bo Jackson, Raiders, John Madden. That was football.
I go back even further than that. I saw Franco Harris immaculate reception on TV live.
Live.
I saw it happen.
I actually met him.
Yeah.
I met him. I got his autograph because I was active duty at the time, soldier. He came to Fort Hood to visit the DFAC, and I had nothing but a notebook, and I didn't know who he was. To be honest, I didn't know who he was, and they're like, "This is Franco Harris. It's a big man. He's tall and big." And I'm like, "Who is Franco Harris?" They're like, "You never heard of Franco Harris?" And I'm like, "No. Who is he?" I said, "I'm a football guy, but you talking about going back beyond the 80s and 70s and 60s? Only I heard about in those eras is the names that they come out in on ESPN, But when I seen Franco Harris, and I seen clips of him, but I never really seen him. But I saw him, I said, "Oh, I know who you are now." Like wow.
Yeah, well, yeah. You see Terry Bradshaw making jokes on pregame. I saw Terry Bradshaw win 4 Super Bowls.
Wow.
I got a whole different perspective of Terry Bradshaw.
Well, yes, you was there. You was there. I was not even thought of yet. And at the same time, even with that, baseball, the love of baseball, the love of something, the passion would bring the people and draw people to the project, to the game, or to watch. And that's why I feel like this right here would bring more people to your books, more people to see the creativity of just a creative mind. And the creative mindset of just you basically say you could do anything you put your mind to.
You can. You just got to be willing to put the work in. There's no such thing as an overnight success.
Right. It's
You
no
know,
no such thing.
it's not true. There's 10, 15, 20 years behind that overnight success. And you got to be willing to do that. Too many people are in a hurry to achieve things. Don't be in a hurry. Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
There's so much to learn along the way.
It is.
It's not about getting there. You'll get there, but you got to enjoy it along the way and learn and grow. That's how you enjoy the way you get.
Great advice.
Appreciate it.
Great advice, and I am going to take that. Now, for all the young, aspiring authors that may watch this later on other platforms that's streaming right now, what kind of advice do you have for them going forward if they want to pursue being an author?
Just do it. Writing is a craft like anything else. You know, you can learn to be a carpenter. You can learn to be a writer. You can learn to be a mechanic. You can learn to be a writer. It's a craft.
It's a craft.
You have to do it to make it better. You know, I'm 6 published works in, and I am right now not the writer I was when I first started.
Right.
Of course, the craft has gotten better.
It's gotten better.
You know, and that's just work at it. Read what you'd like, the kind of books you'd like to write. Read those, but read everything.
Wow. That's great. That's great. That's great. Great and very inspiring right there. And I appreciate you sharing that. Regardless, anybody else don't get that, I got that.
Well, I want to clear up a myth that people seem to have too. I belong to a lot of writing groups on Facebook, and I see all the time that people attribute a lot of things to Shakespeare. Say, oh, we got this saying from Shakespeare. We got this saying from Shakespeare. Yeah, Shakespeare stole it from the Bible. So let's go to the source, please.
Go to the source, the Bible.
Most of the great expressions you'll ever hear came from the good book.
The good book, the Bible. You know what? I guess that's the bottom line right there.
Yeah.
Hey, that's true. Everything comes from it. Every book, every movie. For instance, 300. Gideon. I watched Sparta. This is Sparta. I watched that. And then I read the story about Gideon in the Bible about the 300. I'm like, hold on, where did they get that from?
Yeah, it happened already.
It happened already. Then where's Sparta? Greek mythology. Okay, Zeus, all them. Okay, where this kind of similar to God, maybe heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds the same. And then what's another one? Hercules. Samson. Could it be Samson?
Just a bit.
But one thing about that is kind of an era when you see Hercules and all these, like the Hulk too. I know he's based on Samson too. The thing is, they always muscular, they huge, they big, they monstrous, they just like tanks, walking fleshly tanks. But then the Bible never describes how Samson actually looked.
No.
Size with long hair. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's smarter than them. That's why he defeats them.
That's it, and that's the right anointing on them. So I that's a great outlook. So hey, all the creators out there, you heard it from Cris, you heard it from me. If you want to be inspired and come up with your own stories, read the Bible.
Yep, it's there. It's
there. It's been there for many, 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 many years.
Well, you look at David was a skinny little kid.
Yep.
Up against the monster. Why was he confident? Because he knew who was on his side.
Come on.
He knew who was walking with him. If you know who's with you, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Oh man.
Take
say
the leap.
Bottom line. Say that's the bottom line.
Take the leap. If you know who's next to you, you're good.
That's you right. You're right. And like I said, at the end, you said something that's gonna shake the monkey tree. The bottom line. That's the bottom line, people. You hear what Cris just said? That's the bottom line. Because the anointing, the anointing was all over him. The Holy Ghost was in him, using him. And then this big giant Philistine, mocking the people, got men. Then you got a little boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, here we go. He's talking about you uncircumcised Philistine. You don't mock my God. Pretty much, he's honoring the Father in heaven.
Yes.
So pretty much he's with him and was with him the whole time. And after slinging the slingshot, he got 5 stones from the brook, right? And then he's slinging them, bam. So what's the other 4 for his cousins and his family?
Yeah.
I'm ready. David said, I'm ready to do this. And then not only did he knock him on his face, he took his own sword. Just imagine how big that sword must have been. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to the guy's a giant, right?
Yeah.
You have a giant sword.
And David takes the sword and slices his head off. Come on, man. I mean, that's a movie itself. I mean, that was I thought back in the day. Can I make a script about David, King David? A book about King David? But it's already a book about him. But can I make a screenplay to make it to, bottom line? So,
well, how cool is David? Okay, he's sitting in the gate, and Saul's throwing spears at him, and he ducks.
Yes.
He doesn't get up and get mad and fight back. He just ducks. That's it, man. People are throwing things at you, duck and go on with your day.
Then he came up with the shadow effect, the elite ninja style. He snuck into Snarl's tent twice, wherever he was at. Could have got him then, but he said no. That's God's anointed. I can't touch that, man. So inspiration, man, inspiration. The Bible.
Yeah, absolutely.
He gave me a dream about my book. My book started as a dream, and it was awesome. Job 33, and I think 13 speaks about write down, dreams for later on, instructions. When I had it, he gave me that dream about my book. My book is I can share it with you, Cris, because you're a fellow author. Dawn of a New Age, Book 1, Children of Tomorrow, and pretty much what he shows me in visions, he showed me this and that. I started writing the book. And so it's 8 years later. It's going to get done. Part of this year. It's going to get done. I'm going to finish it. I will finish it.
All right. I'm sure you will. And when you're done, you call me and we talk, and I put you in touch with somebody to get it out there for you.
There you go. See, Connection Network. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. And so do you have anything else for inspiring artists and creators out there? Because we have 8 minutes to go. So do you have anything that you want to add to the process of writing books? Any steps, any processes mentally, physically, spiritually that individuals should go through?
Well, you gotta not listen to people, first of all. Because people will tell you, oh, you want to be an artist, or you want to write, oh, you never make well, I'm not looking to make a living. I'm looking to fulfill myself.
Roger.
You got to fulfill yourself. If you're writing to make a living, if you're writing because you want to be rich, you're in the wrong field.
Okay.
Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't happen. But if you have a story to tell, that's the important thing.
Purpose.
Do you have a story to tell?
Do you have a story?
Everybody's got a story to tell.
Everybody do,
Everybody's got a story to tell. Do you want to tell it? Are you inspired to tell it?
Are you inspired? That's right.
Brave? Are you brave enough to tell it?
Man, that's so profound, man.
Yes, be brave enough to be bold. It's a lonely thing too. You're all by yourself with a blank piece of paper.
Yeah,
that can be daunting, but press forward. Press forward.
Have you? I mean, I keep cutting you off, and that's kind of rude.
That's okay.
Because I know you have a lot of passion about this writer's block. How often do you get that?
I don't believe in it.
Wow. All right. Yes. Now, don't believe in it. Now, help us that those that believe in it get through.
Here's what I do. When I am writing a scene or a chapter that I know where the direction is going, I end my day in the middle of it. Don't finish it. Because when I go back to it the next day, I already know where I'm going and the juices are flowing into the next idea.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I know where I'm going with this one. Maybe the next idea isn't ready yet, but while I'm writing this one, the other one will give birth.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. You might well make you a seminar.
If you do have what they call writer's block and you're not writing, that's because the story's not ready.
Wow.
It's just not ready. The characters aren't ready to move on. The story's not ready to move on. It's not ready.
It's not ready. Okay. You know what? That's amazing. I'm use that word. Amazing that you just said that.
Well, thank you.
I mean, if you get writer's block because the story is not ready to be move on, it's not ready to it's not its time yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's not ready.
So now I understand. 8 years later, the time is now for my book.
There you go. You don't take the cake out of the oven until it's cooked, right?
No, well, some people do. Some people do,
Some people
Chris.
do, and what happens?
It
Got
falls
matched.
flat. It ain't done all the way. I got you. I stay in the fire a little bit longer. I understand that, man. I
Oh,
understand that. Wow, man, that's great, man. That I am very inspired about that.
well,
That's great
good,
advice.
good. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing because it's purpose. Because you've been on here to inspire me more and more to finish. And you know, you can't be a quitter. You can't. What you started, you got to be a finish.
That's
So
it.
you got what you finished. You got to start. It doesn't matter how long it took, how long it takes. Finish it.
That's it. That's it.
Wow.
It takes as long as it takes. How long does it take you to do that? I don't know. As long as it takes.
As long as make you people make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Well, you get in the car and take a journey. Daddy, how long is it going to take to get there? I don't know. When we
Are
start
we
going,
there
I'll let
yet?
you know. Maybe we're going to hit traffic. I don't know. We get there
Are
when we
we
get
there
there.
yet? That's all you're gonna hear anyway. Are you there yet?
We get there when we get there. It ain't
Chris,
going any place. It still be there.
it'll still be there. And you know what? That's so true, man. Because you know, we have to be patient. Basically, the word patience. I think people hate that word. It's like a curse word. Patient.
Everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's
Everybody's
in a hurry.
trying to get that almighty dollar, man. It's not worth it right now. It's take the time to get perfect the craft so you can teach it to someone else.
Exactly. Exactly. You gotta,
Roger
you know, I'm been wanting to write books since I was in junior high. I'm 54 years old. Look how long it took. Why?
Roger.
Because I wasn't ready. You know, maybe if I had the success I have now, maybe if I had it when I was 20 years old, who knows what would have happened to it?
Man.
Not ready. You know, not ready. You see all these athletes, you know, these kids come out of college, they get money thrown at them, and then they get themselves in trouble. You weren't ready.
Weren't ready. No, you were not ready. Don't have the mindset to obtain what you have. You wasn't ready.
Yeah, and it's with anything. You don't push it. It'll come. It'll come.
You know what? You know what? It's going to come. It's going to come. You know what? I'm on fire now. I'll probably just start writing my book tonight. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. I'm like, click. Definitely
Well,
keep in contact, man.
please, when you're done, you send it to me, and I will put you in touch with the right people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
We'll do that because I believe that you have a passion for writing, and I same as with myself. I did start in junior high. I wrote some things, books and short stories for classes and stuff. You know, I grew up with. I'm not ashamed of this because I know we got 3 minutes. Well, we got 2 minutes left. We have. No, it don't matter. We have. I grew up with the Power Rangers. Okay, I did. I grew up watching Power Rangers, and
Okay.
so my English teacher, she was like, "Come up with your own short story. Come up with your own short story." So I just picked the Power Rangers, but then I put the Power Rangers in medieval time. I didn't know they actually have a show. They had as from the Power Rangers show, they went back in medieval time, right? I didn't know that. But that's years. This is years way before that show came out. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I know
so
what you're saying.
yeah. So this was the 90s when I wrote mine. I didn't know they already actually had one. And then I wrote it and I got an A+, and that's what inspired me. When I saw the A+, man, I was like, you know what? I'm about to do this.
I found something I'm good at, right?
Yeah. Pronunciation and spelling, spell check. But I'm the storytelling, the creativity of it all is pretty wild. And to hear, someone that actually got books out there, to hear someone that went through the process and what they went through to do it, it doesn't matter when, what, how, but it's done.
Yeah, that's it. You got that. You know how long the journey takes. It takes.
Roger that. Roger that.
The stumbling blocks, the obstacles are all for a reason. We
Yes,
don't
they
get
are.
to see the big picture. We only see our little corner of it. We don't get to see the big picture.
We don't.
Just trust that it works out in your favor.
Come on, Chris. Chris, I appreciate you coming on the show tonight, man. This was
my absolute pleasure.
And I pray right now that this exposure right here help everybody that's watching that will watch this and go back and I got your Amazon information going on like a ticker at the bottom.
Oh, thank you so much.
Anytime they see this, go click on and just start just support. It's all about the support. You put the time in, now it's time to cash in, not as in money, but as in seeing where your creativity has brought you and how far we'll go.
Absolutely.
You know what? For me to you, Chris, I appreciate you coming, man. I thank God for you, man. You continue to be inspired and write some more books, and maybe down the line, guys, we'll come up and collaborate with a story and come together and write one.
That
What
would
you
be
think
great.
about that?
I would love that.
Roger that. I'm very hyped about this, and like I said, you got my crate juices going on right now.
Good.
Should I write right now, or should I just go to sleep? I don't know. I don't know right now. I'm feeling like I want to write.
There you go. There you go.
So before we go, Cris, do you have anything else? Any shout outs to anybody that you want to shout out right now?
Well, of course, I always like to thank my publisher, Braxton Cosby. Does a great job with the books, getting the covers ready, getting everything ready, making sure I'm on the straight and narrow, making sure everything's perfect and out to the people.
All right. And then anybody else?
Of course, my kids, Tony Ann and Deanna, and my beautiful wife, Patricia. Thank you for all the support you give me.
Amen. Amen. That's what it is. That's what it's about. All right. Cris, I appreciate you coming on the bottom line.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime, you're welcome. You're welcome on this show.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And to those that are watching, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Hope you got some notes. And it just understand that it's not a race. It's a marathon. As long as it gets done, it gets finished. And that's the bottom line. All right. God bless you guys. And y'all have a blessed and safe night. All right, Cris, you enjoy yourself, man. And like I said, many more coming shows coming with you as a guest. I'm very intrigued to see what the future lies for you and your family, man.
We'll get this video going.
Roger that. It's gonna be fun. You get to see the background of your book. You get to see the little banners and stuff.
Well,
like, oh.
Send me a link where I can pull it up later on.
Okay, got you. Do you okay, I got you. I will do that. And what else? I will send you a link. And do you have you on Facebook, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's where we've been talking.
Right.
I have a YouTube channel too.
Okay, I tell you what, I can always go and I'm only can share from this site I'm on. But when it's over, I can always download and I can send it to your YouTube channel. Send me your information, on Messenger.
Okay.
And we go from there. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, man. You have a blessed night.
Have a great night. We'll talk.
You too. Soon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Enjoyed every bit of it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night.